Now, this week, we learned there's going to be an investigation into the Chinese social media platform TikTok and others over their use of children's data, such as why Emily thinks Charlie XCX is goals and exactly how much Olivia thinks Taylor Swift is slay. Okay. According to the Information Commissioner's Office, the algorithms on TikTok are pushing content that is inappropriate, sexually explicit, and potentially radicalizing to children. And frankly, we at The Naked Week won't stand for it. How dare China put our good old British porn stars and homegrown jihadis out of a job? TikTok is allegedly controlled by the Chinese government, and an investigation by the New York Post in 2023 highlighted a big disparity in how the algorithms perform in China compared to how they perform in the West. In China, children are pushed to videos that celebrate education, family values, and a love of the government. Keir Starmer has already asked Beijing for the coding. But in the West, meanwhile, the algorithms are promoting underachievement, underage drinking, underage sex, a mistrust of the government and the military, and glamorizing mental illness. Obviously, this is a huge claim, and we wanted to see if we could find evidence ourselves. So, earlier this week, the Naked Week's IT department spent most of the show's budget on a brand new phone and downloaded just one app, TikTok. The phone had no data at all, no contacts, no photos, and we hadn't been online at all. It was a literal blank slate. We then invented a TikTok user, a 14-year-old girl, and we gave her the first name that was most common in her year of birth, partly so it would be as generic as possible for the experiment, and partly so it would sound far less creepy when we admitted to impersonating a child on national radio. So to be clear, Amelia 2011 XOXO had no data at all for the algorithm to analyze, other than her age and her nationality. So this is genuinely what the TikTok algorithm fed this week to a British 14-year-old. Rosie Holt is the Naked Week's Creepy Experiment editor, and she joins me now. Rosie, I believe you have the findings of our research. What videos did the algorithm push to Amelia?
Well, the researchers meticulously logged every video Miss 2011 XOXO was shown. And in the first videos that appeared, there were 2 on anxiety, 2 glamorizing misbehaving at school, and 1 with the Union Jack overlaid by a TikTok dance song that's seemingly about, and I quote, big minge energy. Thank you. It sounds like this.
Big bird, sesame, big minge energy.
Rosie, I never want to hear that again, ever. What else did the algorithm show Amelia?
Another interesting thing is what TikTok suggested to Amelia in the search function. TikTok suggests searches based on content it thinks you might enjoy. And these are the genuine, immediate searches it suggested for Amelia 2011 XOXO. The first suggested search was, wait for it, Mummy Pig Pregnancy Reveal.
I didn't even know David Cameron was on TikTok. Yes! Okay, what next, Rosie?
Okay, after that it got quite dark. Okay. In all seriousness, it next suggested a woman kissing her man while washing his hair, then 2 year 7s fighting at school, and then 2 videos called 2 Babies Found Dead at Daycare.
Okay, so this is actually genuinely grim stuff. I presume that if you refresh, it gives you new video suggestions. Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Without watching any of the suggested videos, Amelia refreshed, and what came up was more fighting 11-year-olds, a man kissing 10 women, see-through bikini, and 5 boys, 2 girls.
Okay, so this is truly horrible.
Yes, no, it is. Then we searched Radio 4 The Naked Week, and that gave Amelia How to Get Your Period, and 7 minutes in the closet with a boy, then How to Make Your Thingy Feel Nice.
What?
There is, you can find the video.
And we'll be including a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
We absolutely will not.
And then finally, just outright porn.
So it literally just gets more and more extreme.
Yeah, almost. The radicalizing content very much did, but the final video it recommended to Amelia didn't quite fit the pattern.
What was it?
Okay, genuinely, granny farts in church.
Okay. So, listener, I reiterate, all of this is absolutely genuine. It really does seem that TikTok and its ilk are pushing this stuff to our kids. So what can we do about it? Should we regulate harder? Should we ban smartphones for under 16s? Should we courier that granny some Gaviscon? Well, as you know, we at The Naked Week, we like to be helpful, and if the nation's children are being radicalised, then we are going to save them by radicalising them right back with a safer alternative. We want to drive children away from sex, drugs, and minge-based rock and roll by giving them a benign, and dare we say it, truly British substitute for TikTok. That's right, live on air, we are going to radicalise a child into loving Radio 4. Earlier today, I spoke to Dr. Nusayba Yunus, a peace-building practitioner who has advised the Iraqi government on de-radicalising women affiliated with ISIS. And I asked her other criteria that make some children more vulnerable to radicalisation than others.
Generally, people who are having personal or emotional difficulties.
So anyone who's ever written into feedback might be eligible for radicalisation.
I think it's very critical that when we introduce young people to Radio 4, we do not tell them about feedback.
I couldn't agree more. It's now time to radicalise some children. Rosie now joins me live from the Naked Week After School Club, where we have 5 children of varying ages and backgrounds chained to a radiator, and we have Clockwork Oranged all 5 of them into listening to the Today Programme podcast, increasing their listenership to 5. Rosie, let the radicalisation commence. Play the children the first clip.
Okay, kids, this clip is from a Radio 4 show called Farming Today.
It's unfair that oilseed rape is bought in from countries where they use neonicotinoids, pesticides that are banned in the UK because they harm bees.
Thoughts?
It's hardly surprising given this government's track record of arrogance and contempt towards our nation's farmers.
Oh my God, Rosie, it's working. More.
Children, listen to this disgusting piece of propaganda. That's Bells on Sunday from the parish church of St. Peter in Tiverton, Devon. What do you think?
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Almost full radicalisation. This is, if you'll pardon the expression, radical stuff.
They're now so immersed in Radio 4's agitprop, Andy, that one of them has called Any Answers.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Any Answers.
This 3% of national income on defence Starmer is talking about, that's still far too low. Defence spending has to be at the forefront of every country's economic priorities. That's just the new normal.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Does it mean that the rest of Europe is going to have to ramp up armaments, the size of their armies, nuclear weapons? Is that the world that our children are going to inherit?
Look, speaking as a child, the idea of inheriting the world seems short-sighted.
Okay, well, I'm grateful for your call and your expertise on this.
Well, to paraphrase Whitney Houston, I believe that radicalised children are the future.
Like I always say, treat them well and one will eventually take over from Melvyn Bragg on In Our Time.
Hello, St. Isaac the Confessor was the founder of the Dalmatian monastery in 1st century Constantinople. He was imprisoned by the Roman Emperor Valens in 378 AD, but following Valens' death at the Battle of Adrianople, Isaac was released and subsequently became known as a staunch defender of early Christian orthodoxy, most notably at the Second Ecumenical Council. With me to discuss Isaac of Dalmatia are my best friend Jack and also my other best friend Maisie, but not Craig because his mum can't pick him up on Thursday.
Blimey, they really are radicalised, aren't they?
Oh, hang on, one of them wants to speak to you.
Andrew Hunter Murray, we demand Radio 4 law and a caliphate to be established at Broadcasting House. Glory be to Melvyn, for he is the one true hope.
Radicalised child, how old are you?
13.
Okay, we have a 13-year-old boy on the BBC. How were you cast for this, if you don't mind me asking?
Easy. My dad is an official in Hamas.
Okay, I think that's all we've got time for. I think we'd better stop there. Thank you, radicalised children. Goodbye.